Hello and welcome again. This is part 5 of the Braidwood ride on the Nerriga Road still. And as I was mentioning in the last clip, I was talking about the dreadful state of this section of the road. Now I concede first of all that much of the road is in good condition and quite a lot of the road has been surfaced, but there is two gravel sections that are, in my view, quite dangerous, and as I said in the last video, there should be a sign saying sections of this road unsealed or sections of this road unsuitable for motorcyclists or something like that. And the reason I say that, as I've just come onto the tar section, is because it's a popular road for motorcyclists, judging by the number of bikes I saw at the Nerriga pub the day I went there, and considering that it's a route from Canberra and Goulburn to Nowra, that it wouldn't be all that difficult to put up a sign saying sections of the road unsealed or sections of the road unsuitable for motorcyclists, and of course it would only be a temporary sign, and once the roadworks are complete and the road is fully sealed, you just take it down. You can see from this section here that when it's done, it will be a good road. It's wide, it has markings down the centre and markings on the sides, and I always comment on those things because I think they are important to the quality of the road. You know where the edges of the road are, in some cases they're even shoulders, and there is guttering here, or whatever you want to call it, curbing and guttering that drains the water away and so on. So I think all of those things are all go towards making the road a good road and making it a good ride for motorcyclists, but just as I say, at the moment, with these two sections unsealed, it's not the ideal sort of road that I want to take my bike on anyway. Now, I suppose I could qualify that by saying, well, maybe there are other riders who are more confident in their own ability and confident in their bikes, but I wouldn't like to be on a sports bike or a cruiser like mine, hit that gravel being unaware of it and going at top speed. I have to say, when I hit it, I was probably doing about 90 k's. If you were doing anything much faster, I wouldn't like to do it anyway. So anyway, let's move on from that. In the last video, I was talking a bit about the value of social media, and in particular the value of YouTube. And I say again, this is not a paid advertisement, there's no commercial arrangement with YouTube or anybody else. It just happened to be something that I thought about, and I wanted to make a few comments on it. So what I said at the time was that I think there are a lot of good things, a lot of pluses with some sorts of social media, this one in particular, in that if you are interested in motorcycle riding, if you're interested in children's stories or whatever it is, the things that I've got on my channel here, you'll find a free source of those sorts of things. As I said, there are people that whose channels I subscribe to, that I enjoy commenting with and commenting on their videos and talking to them that way. And although I don't know them personally and probably won't even meet most of them, it's a way for people to share common interests. Now, I concede that many people are concerned about the number of hours that children in particular spend on phone screens or tablet screens or whatever it is, and that is a legitimate concern, because I think there is no substitute for real interaction between people. There's nothing better than sitting around the dinner table talking about your day, or talking about a movie you've seen, or something, planning something the family would like to do, or something like that. And spending your time in a virtual space, chat rooms or whatever it is that people do, is no substitute for that. But that is not necessarily entirely the fault of the media, of the social medium. I understand there are sorts of algorithms and so on that keep feeding your desire for likes and all that sort of stuff. But somewhere along the line, parents have to be the adults, and parents have to be the grown-ups in the situation, and they have to say to their children, well, there's only so much screen time, then the phone has to be put down, or we turn the phones off and we turn the tablets off and put them all away while we're having dinner or something like that, and we don't we sit and we act like a family then, rather than a bunch of people who are just in the same room where we're all staring at phone screens and so on. All right, so that's enough said about social media and so on. Families can make their own decisions about it. Grown-ups can make their own decisions about it. So I'm on the road heading towards Nerriga. Said in the earlier video, Nerriga is a small village. To my memories, I've only been there once, but there is a pub. There is an old church where I don't think there's any services anymore. There are a couple of houses. I did see a sign something to do with a market being held there once a month or something like that. I'm not sure if there's a school there, but even if there was, it'd probably only be a one-teacher school. So it's kind of a through point to somewhere, rather than okay, you'd go there if you were motorcycling, you might go there and say, "Well, have lunch there, then we'll keep going to Nowra or wherever it is we're going." There's no point in actually going there because there's nothing to do there other than, as I say, stop at the pub. This country here is sort of a mixture of open woodland, as I've said before. In other words, there are fields, paddocks, whatever you want to call it, that have trees on either side of them and are well wooded. And then back from the road a bit, it's clear land. I think some of it may be agricultural land and some of it may be crown land that has no formal use. Maybe stock wander onto it at some points as well. Just talking about the road, you can see this section here is a pretty good section where the road's nice and wide. They look like some good shoulders, just like a new bridge here that's been built. So maybe that's been part of the delay in getting the road surfaced, that they had to build some new bridges as well. But as I say, this section looks like a pretty good section. It's nice and wide, and you get that sense of spaciousness you often get with wide roads. And the surface is quite smooth. You can see by the camera's not bouncing around on its mount a lot, and not giving you that sort of seasickness feeling you might get if it was bouncing around a lot. Either side of the road here you can see evidence that a fire has been through here. Now I can't remember if there were certainly fires in the Braidwood area in the 2019-2020 Christmas period fires. I can't remember if they were in this area or not, but certainly there's evidence of fire having been through here. Not only are the tree stumps and things blackened, but of course in the regrowth the leaves and things are growing quite close to the trunks of the trees, which is a common sign after a fire. A common sign that there has been a fire through when the regrowth comes. It comes fairly close to the trunks of the trees. This area, I think, must be part of the Palarang Shire or Palarang District Council or something like that it might be called. I'm not sure exactly what its name is. I'm trying not to talk just for the sake of talking here, so that you can just enjoy the ride and enjoy the scenery while I'm riding. Again, it looks like we've come to another unsealed section of the road. I don't want to keep harping on about this thing, but it is certainly not the most pleasant of experiences to ride. The thought that you might go down, try and might lose traction or something, and the thought that you might go down is, let's say, to say the least, somewhat unnerving. And as you can see by the number of cars that have passed me, there's not a lot of traffic uses this road either. So were you to have an accident, if you were not riding in a group or something like that, it could be a long time standing by the side of the road waiting for help. I recall this was a fairly, you can see by the sky and so on, it was a bright sunny day and a pleasant day to ride. I don't think I had a dry rider jacket which has a zip-in lining, a quilted zip-in lining, so I was quite warm. It's now, when I'm making this audio, it's the 4th of September, sorry, the 3rd of September. It's the 3rd of September, and riding weather's definitely coming again. Problem is you're only allowed to ride, you're only allowed to travel within 5 kilometres of your home. At least that's how I understand the rules. You're not supposed to leave your local government area, so not a lot of fun having to put on all the gear for motorcycling and then only go around the corner, so to speak. So I'm hoping that that restriction will be lifted, or perhaps I'll check and see what that is and I can start going and doing some more riding. I mentioned before, I think, and when I start these videos, I usually talk about the technical setup I have. You might just be able to see it in the screen now. I have a GoPro camera that sits on one of those suction cap things that attaches to the windscreen of the bike and has a, I'm not sure what you call it, a pivot point or some sort on it. And because I was on this dirt road here, and the road surface was very rough and uneven, the pivot point came loose, and the camera, instead of pointing outwards so that you could see what was going on, wobbled around and was pointing towards the bike. I was able to sort of fix it up, tighten it up so I could continue filming. The camera I use is a GoPro, I think it's a Hero 7. I don't know a great deal about it because I got it off my son, and I just essentially put it on the screen, turn it on, press record and let it do its thing. I know it has a 2-hour battery life and a 16 gig card inside it, and so the software that the camera uses tends to break the clips up into 1.98 giggles, something like that, which equates with approximately 17 minutes of filming. So I just let it go and try and keep an eye on the time, and then when I'm close to the 2 hours, stop and change cameras. I don't have a helmet that fits in my, I don't have a camera that I can fit inside my helmet or anything like that, which is why I record the audio after using the microphone and something called voice recorder that comes on my computer. But I know that some other people who do motorcycle vlogs and things like that do have more elaborate setups like that, but I just don't have that equipment. If you were to stop the video at any moment along here and look at the trees on the side of the road, you would see the evidence of the fires that I was talking about earlier in the regrowth and the blackening of the trunks and so on. Good to see these guardrails on the sides of the road here as well. coming into the last 30 seconds or so of the video, so I'll say thank you again for watching and listening, and I will talk to you during the next video clip, which will be the last clip in this ride. I'm not going to get home in the last clip, and I'll explain to you in the next clip what happened and why. But thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I will talk to you again in the next clip.